Hey, and welcome back to From the Desk of Wes. Only today, we're in my bathroom. Now, if you're anything like me, you don't be having time for anything, okay? And I do need anything. This is just a quick makeup look that still gives that girl, that still gives I spent a long time doing my makeup, only you're not gonna spend a long time. I'm not gonna spend a long time. So let's get right into it. So as you can see, I do deal with some hyperpigmentation and some blemishes, but that's okay, we're gonna work it out. Now, normally I do my makeup in the morning, which means I just woke up. So I go in with a makeup wipe just to make sure everything's clear and I don't have like any sleep left over in my eyes. Next, I'm going in with my Clinique Moisture Surge Moisturizer that actually also serves as a primer. So I don't have to do a moisturizer and then a primer. I just use this sort of all in one. And it also has SPF 50 in it. So it's giving me that sunscreen coverage that we all need. I like to make sure I also get my neck whenever I'm doing this because y'all be forgetting y'all's necks and I don't like that. Next up, we have the NYX Pore Filler. And when I do this, I only use it like on my T-zone in that area. Y'all know the area. And I just get that in. And I like to put it on my forehead too, just to really eliminate the look of my pores being humongous, which I know a lot of us tend to deal with. And this is one of the products that I've seen pretty much do the job. Next, I'm going in with my brow pencil, also from NYX. This is color Espresso, I believe. And you can see I already don't have a whole lot of brow to begin with. So I brush it to get the hairs at least trying to go in one direction. And I really like to start with an outline, as you see that I'm doing here, outlining that bottom area. I try not to do an outline on top because it gives your brows like a less natural look. So I'll do the bottom and then you see I'll kind of swipe up with the brush and with the actual pencil just to create those hair-like strokes. You don't want a harsh top of the brow line. So people are going for more of like the natural brow look these days, and I don't have a lot to work with. So I don't want to overdo it by overpronouncing the pencil, and then you can like see where my actual brow is separated. I don't know if that makes sense. Like you can see my actual brow hair because it's so contrasted in real estate from the pencil, if that makes sense. So you want to stay as close to your actual brow shape as possible. So don't try to, if you have like an arch brow, don't try to do a straight pencil brow because it's not going to look good. It's not going to be natural, and we don't want that. Also, I want to put more of an emphasis on getting the correct brow pencil color because if you go too dark, just trust me, you're not going to like it. So test it out, make sure you're getting your color. Now, naturally, I cannot find what I need and I get so irritated. It's like it was just there. I had to take a little sip because okay, here we go. This is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer in color 13. I get it a little bit lighter than my actual skin tone because I also use it for my highlighting under my eyes. So this kind of doubles as both. It's kind of a good in-between. And all I'm doing here is just covering up those blemishes on my cheeks and that hyperpigmentation so I don't have to put on a ton of foundation. Next, I use the popular e.l.f. Power Grip Setting Spray. This is that girl. I just go in just to stop the movement of whatever product I put on before I put another one on. So just gonna let that dry real quick. Now let's get into this Ilia Stick Foundation. Y'all, I am loving this and it saves so much time as opposed to liquid foundation because the blending and application process is so much quicker and less messy. And this is a good skin match because you could barely see me putting it on my cheeks. I go in now with a dense brush, and this is one of the brushes that I'm sure we all have. I feel like everybody has this brush set. It's the Real Techniques Everyday Essentials Makeup Brush Set, and I think it came with a sponge. And I'm gonna just blend this out, make sure. I had makeup blindness in like 2015 and 16, and I feel like in 2025 I am like just trying to redeem myself for all of the horrible makeup that I was doing back then. And so now I am hyper fixated on getting like really good blending. Going back in with my Juvia's Place concealer to clean up the brow line. I normally do this while I'm doing my brows, but I forgot to do it. So I'm just going back, and I have like a tiny little foundation brush that I'm going in with. I normally use that, I can't remember the name of it, but it's that tilted. It's actually a brow brush. I mean, a brow makeup brush. I normally use that, but I couldn't find it. So I had to use this brush, which kind of worked just as well. And then you'll see me blending that out. Sometimes I do this with the actual foundation instead of concealer. But since I'm using a stick foundation, I decided I was gonna do concealer for the brows. I accidentally put too much on here, but that's okay. If you do that, don't wipe the whole thing off and start over, because you can blend it out. So this process is very forgiving because you can just blend it out onto your eyelid, and you know, that'll serve as your primer for the eyeshadow. So don't be like, oh shoot, I gotta start over. Just blend it out or wipe some of it off. And since we're not going like full glam here, this is just kind of an everyday, I have soccer look. You don't want to do too much. Now see, I told you this was gonna double or triple. Now I'm actually going in with the Juvia's Place concealer again for my under eye coverage. And you wanna blend upwards, okay? Don't blend down. And you see I'm looking up because I notice when I do that, it expands that under eye skin area, and it helps with creasing, and it helps get that concealer really in there. And sorry guys, I over blend, I'm sorry, but I just have like, I told you, I'm hyper fixated on blending it out. So I'm going in on this side, doing the same thing. And again, make sure you blend up. And that gives your face sort of a lifted effect. And I forgot to mention that my sponge is damp. So I sprayed a little bit of that setting spray on before I blended out the concealer. Next, I'm going in with my Morphe Bacon Set setting powder. And this is just to set that concealer that we just used. And I always tap the brush because it gets all over my face. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. As you can see here, it's still kind of flying around, but that's okay because when we blend it out, we're gonna get rid of any of that excess. So we'll be good. Next, I'm going in with the 9P Petal Passion palette by Morphe. And I bet you can guess what just happened here. I am sick. I didn't even want to pick it up, but I did. And I know I'm not the only person that has experienced this tragic sense of loss. And I just opened it up, y'all. Oh my God. Oh, it broke. But my favorite one didn't. The one I was going to use is Love and Lust. So that was still intact. So look, I have a whole attitude right here. I am pissed. And this is another brush from the Real Techniques makeup brush kit. And I'm going in with a dense brush because I'm only using one color here. Hear me out. It's still gonna look good. And this is why I chose this color, is because you can use this alone and it still looks good. So I'm blending that out. And y'all, my sisters be clowning me because they told me to retire this color because I use this color like every time I do my makeup. I don't know, it's just something about it. I mean, and as you can see, I'm going in circular motions to do the blending because I kind of have to blend it out beyond the crease line, and I want there to be a natural transition. Next, I'm going to take a fluffy brush from the same makeup brush collection, and I'm going to remove any of that excess powder that we talked about, and then also blend it out so there's no harsh lines and there's no leftover powder. I actually went and got a different brush that's equally fluffy but a little bit bigger because I wanted to cover more space and get it done quicker. Now you'll see that things look ashy right now, but we're about to change that. Next up is my Juvia's Place Bronze Duo in the color tan. Y'all, I'm a Juvia's girl, okay? She has all the products that I like. So I'm gonna go in and do some bronzing on my cheekbone lines. And this is another time you wanna blend upwards. And I cannot express that enough. Blend upwards and make it a buildable situation. So you don't need to grab a bunch at a time. You can always go back in and build it. I'm not a professional makeup artist, so this is just how I do things. So don't come for me in the comments. Next, I'm going in with, again, a Juvia's Place product. This is the Blush Duo in volume 2. And y'all can see I clearly use it quite a bit. I'm gonna use that top color, and I'm going in with a blush brush, and I'm smalling because I like to pronounce my cheekbones to make sure I'm covering that little area. I think I'm one of those people that kind of overdoes it on the blush, but I like it. And I forgot to put bronzer on my jawline, so I'm just going back here and using what was already on the brush and just going in and doing some more bronzer. Now I'm gonna set again, don't judge, because I like my makeup to stick, period. Now this is a drugstore eyeliner. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll post the link. But it's a felt pen tip, Lord. And I am notorious for doing a winged liner. A cat eye, a classic wing. One thing about me, I don't care. It could be a plain wing, but I'm doing a wing, okay? Now, if you're a beginner and you're not used to doing a winged eyeliner or a liquid eyeliner at all, then I would suggest starting with more of a liquid form with a brush. Because I choose a felt tip because it's more sturdy. It doesn't move around as much, but you do have to do a little bit more dragging, which if you don't have a steady hand or if you've not, done this a lot, then it might be harder to work with a felt tip pen. Y'all see, I'm still struggling with that. Now, sort of the hack that I use is tilting my head up and looking down. Now, I don't always do this, but I went in with a small brush and went back into that eyeshadow that's on my top lid and put some at the bottom just for some contrast and a little bit of razzle dazzle. And it'll look really cute when after you put your bottom lash mascara on. Take my word. I'm not gonna lie, I hate this part of doing my makeup, and that is putting on lashes. These are the Ardell Naked Lashes, number 420 multi-pack, and the Duo Glue. And I usually use the black one, but I couldn't find it at the time, but I did end up finding it, and that's what I'm actually using. And it takes a while to dry, so you wanna make sure it's tacky before you try to put the lashes on. You see here, I'm using a pair of tweezers. Some of y'all use y'all's hands, and I envy that, but the way my nails are set up is giving tweezers. Now you see here, I'm just getting them aligned and putting them right on top of my natural lashes. You don't want to put it too far up where there's separation between your natural lash and the false lashes. Now I do want to emphasize on letting it dry because as you can see here, all I did was touch it and I got lash glue on my nose because it's not dry. If you do that, don't rub it off because if you wait for it to dry, it'll just peel off. So just wait for it to dry and move on. Mention that I always use the black glue because as I said, I'm always doing an eyeliner up top. But if you're not gonna do the liner up top, then that's when it's appropriate to use the clear one. Next, I'm going in with my Juvia's Place again. I'm using the Warrior palette. I've had this for like a year, so it is a little lived in. And here I'm using the highlight color Ildia. Just gonna use my highlight brush. That is also old, but it still works, so mind your business. And I'm gonna take that and do some highlighting on my cheekbones. And now that this glue is dry, I'm just gonna peel it off. Boom, just like that. And after I fixed it, I'm just gonna put a little bit of highlight in the same color on my nose. So I'm going in with the NYX Gloss Stain in the color Splash and Spice. And I actually use this as a liner and it lasts all day. Now you wanna opt to just get a little bit on the brush and just outline your lips. Next, I'm going in with the NYX Smooth Whip Blurring Matte Lip Cream in the color Teddy Fluff. And I'm just filling in the rest of my lips, and you just want to do a little mwah, 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 get that nice and blended, and it's a nice neutral look. Next, I'm going to take this CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara, and I'm going to put it on my bottom lashes. This is what I was talking about earlier. It really looks cute contrasted up against the eyeshadow color. Now, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I will say that I typically go in after my lashes have dried, and I will reline the top so you aren't getting that shine from the lash glue. I went in here and just did one final mist, one more for the road, and there it is. You've got your everyday look that looks like you took some time. And now I want to just kind of lean into my look, fix my hair. These were day-old curls, but that's okay. We made the look work, and here's the final results. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.